Hi friends, today we're going to explore texture. Texture is used by artists in a lot of different ways. Let's check it out. Texture is the physical feeling of something. It can be smooth, bumpy, rough, slimy, prickly, soft. Look around you. Texture can be found in nature and it can be man-made. Artists use texture to add interest, to create emphasis, to express feelings, and to add depth to their works of art. I started by going around my house and looking for texture, and I found it in all sorts of places. Inside my house with everyday items, including my clothing, and outside in nature. Here are some of the things I found. I found a grater. I found some packing material. I found some clothing that had bumps on it. The case for my glasses. My shoe, the bottom of my shoe. Thomas train track. Some ribbon. Some leaves. Let's see what happens when we do texture with these. To see if the texture was something I wanted to use, I decided to practice first. I got a piece of paper and I just started using the texture to see what would happen. So how you do that is you take your piece of texture, you put it underneath your paper, and this is just regular old copy paper. You put it underneath. I like to use the side of my crayon. Sometimes I take the paper off to help me get access to the color, and I use the side of the crayon to see what happens. And I go over the area where the texture is underneath. Let's see what happens. It's kind of magical. So here was my leaf, and that's what I got. Let's see what else we can do. In my investigation, I found 6 different textures that I found really interesting. So now I need to create a space on my paper for those textures. I took a piece of cardstock and I cut it up to give me 6 different areas to put the texture in. You can trace those on your paper and then do your texture. You can do it this way or you can do it random. And let's try a little more random. But I want to have 6 spaces because that's the amount of texture that I found interesting. You may find more than 6 pieces of texture that are interesting to you. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in both of these, I have 6 places to put my texture. I'm going to trace over my pencil lines with marker so I can see the areas where I want to put my different textures more clearly. So I'm using a marker to go over my pencil lines to have a more defined area where I'm going to put my different textures. On this piece, I'm going to try 6 different colors and see what happens. The first one I'm going to try is the leaf, and I'm going to put it under my paper in this area. And for this one, I'm going to use a red crayon. And I'd like to use the side of my crayon. I think that that works best. Might not be how you write your name, but it's really good for getting texture. And you can put the texture on, and then you can move the object underneath and do more. So there is my leaf. I can move my leaf another way and do more, but we want to fill the whole section up with that particular texture. And when it overlaps, it's really interesting to see what you get. Okay, so there's one. Let's keep going. I'm going to try another one. This is my more random lines, but I did give myself 6 spaces because I have 6 textures. This time I'm going to just try it with one color and see how I like it. So here we have 6 different textures on one piece of paper in one color. Let's look at what we created. This was our first try. We have 6 different textures in 6 different colors. I'm happy with how the colors contrast, yet they work together. This is the one we made using 6 random spaces, yet used one color. I like how the textures come to one point. I'm excited to see what you create using texture.